everyone and welcome back to my channel. I've just realised I should probably start coming on here and wear a bit more colour because I feel like in every single video I've just been wearing something really monochromatic. But it's getting into winter, so I feel like the time for that's past. Summer's been and gone. But thank you for joining me back at my channel, and hello if you are new. I had a few questions over on my TikTok about people not kind of knowing what to do when it comes to journaling, how to start, what to write about. They just need a bit more of an explanation, and to be honest, I was exactly the same when I started off. I just felt a bit silly, like, why am I writing myself a diary, basically? The benefits you get from journaling outweigh the thoughts of potentially feeling a bit silly. So you just need to get out your head, grab a pen and paper and just get on with it. I would be making a cup of tea and like sat here drinking, being all cozy and like have my candles on right now, but I actually have to leave for work in 23 minutes. So this is just gonna be a bit of a quick one for me. Nice and obvious, you are gonna need a notebook and a pen. My boyfriend bought me this notebook for Christmas and I just love it. It's not like the usual one I'd kind of go for, but I love it because he picked it out. Random pen. I did have one pen, I'm a bit weird with stuff like this, there was one pen that I did absolutely love, but I've lost it. I've got a feeling the cat's just kind of like whacked it under the sofa or something and just have been playing with it. But anyway, journaling can be done in many different ways. So obviously the actual point blank definition is just kind of writing things out, but the definition that I kind of associate with it is getting out of your head all these stressful thoughts that are building up inside of you that you may not necessarily want to tell another person, or just things that you're just like, oh my god, I want to stop thinking about this. There's different ways of journaling. So some people want to just brain dump, maybe put the date if they want to, but literally just write out anything that's on their mind, which is kind of what I do. I just kind of write most days, just like little bits. You can also do gratitude lists, which a lot of people find helps them. It kind of puts them back on the path of being grateful for stuff. It puts them on a more positive wavelength of life. They're just attracting better things because they're showing gratitude for the stuff they already have in their life. I don't know why I don't do gratitude lists. I feel like I'm grateful enough in my day-to-day life. I feel like I'm excused a little bit from actually sitting and doing my gratitude lists. If you're in a bit of a dark and not very nice headspace, then I do recommend it because it does just give you a moment of reflection to think about what is good in your life, what you do like in your life. Even if you feel like everything else is crap, there will be a few things that are going your way. So it just kind of flips your mindset, even if it's just for a little bit. Another way is kind of like the way we used to do it when we were younger. It's like Dear Diary, and kind of like, I don't know, the more kind of gossipy aspect behind it, which I guess is just a little bit more glamorized version of brain dumping. I don't put Dear Diary or anything like that. I just kind of write. But for a beginner, a really easy way to get into it, if you just don't know what you want to write about, or you're thinking, I need to do this but I don't know what I want to say, you can use prompts. So there are some books that you can buy that already have prompts, or you can just go online and search them. On my Pinterest I have a whole board dedicated to journal prompts, so if you go and follow me on my Pinterest, Dada Lane X. Some examples of some prompts would be, what type of lifestyle do I want? What am I most excited about? How have I been feeling recently? What are you proud of yourself for today and why? My favourite personality traits that I have. What are 10 things I'm really good at? Even like this example, priorities of the day. There's literally so many. So yeah, just go on my folder that says journal. I'll link it somewhere. So if you're struggling to kind of find any, I've got some already linked on my profile. But that is really good just to kind of get you started, get you to open up a little bit. I guess it's kind of like having a new therapist. You're letting your guard down a little bit, you're exposing yourself, you're getting vulnerable, which you may usually avoid. So you just have to kind of like ease yourself into it. I only write about a page at a time anyway. Some people write pages and pages and pages, and I just haven't got round to that yet. Another way that people journal is through shadow work. So similar to prompts, it will say something and it makes you reflect on the past. So obviously not everyone wants to reflect on the past, but it kind of counts as a little bit of therapy. You get to kind of analyse why you are the way you are, and it kind of helps you grow as a person, grow emotionally. So shadow work I do really like doing, I just never find the time to do it, which is such a bad excuse, and I do find it really helps because it will ask you questions that you've never even thought of before, and you'll realise things that you never would have realised otherwise, and you're like, oh my god, that's why I think like this, it's because of this, or I react like this because of this. So everything just kind of, it just makes things connect in your brain, which I quite like. A bit weird though, I have to have a different notebook for everything. So this is my like journaling notebook. Then I have a notebook just for random stuff, like just jotting notes down. I then have a notebook for manifesting. So I wouldn't necessarily put that down as a type of journaling because manifesting is just something completely different, but it involves a pen and paper, so I guess it kind of goes in. And then I also have a notebook for shadow work. My notebook for shadow work, because it's kind of another term for healing your inner child, I guess. So I went to Poundland and I just got like this big notebook and then these coloured pens, like felt tip pens, where I just write all my answers to the questions in my little felt tip pens, which was fun for me. If it's not already a habit in your life, then just implement it a little bit at a time, because you're not gonna suddenly love doing it, but you just, when you are writing down, you just have to let yourself feel all the emotions. Yeah, I think a way to get into it would be just using a few prompts if you don't know what you want to talk about. B, treating yourself to a cute notebook and a cute pen, because that just makes everything more fun. C would be romanticize it. You see all these other girls on TikTok, think of it as a form of self-care. After you've done your face mask, after you've washed your hair, put a hair mask in, just kind of like incorporate it into your self-care routine, and then it just seems more fun. I think we're so quick to do self-care for like our face and our skin and our hair, but we don't necessarily want to do the self-care for our mind. Some people journal in the sense of they will not necessarily be in touch with their emotions, but they'll write what their favourite song is at that moment, or what programme they're watching, or what they had for lunch that day, kind of keep a food diary, or I don't know, there's different ways that people journal. Some people, there's a girl I follow on TikTok called, I think her name's Noah Maria, and she will like do little drawings and put it in, or she does stuff about Gilmore Girls. Like, you can pretty much just put whatever you want in a journal, but it's just putting your thoughts onto a piece of paper. For me, it's getting out the negative thoughts so that I'm not taking it out on other people. It's not even like what I did today, what I made for lunch. It's just any thought that comes to my head, I just put onto paper. Another way that I do really want to try, but I always forget, is I want to write letters to people that are still having an effect on my life, even though they're not in my life anymore. Whether that's because we had a fallout, whether that's because they have passed away, whether that's because we've just distanced, people that I still think about, or people that still hold a place. I don't know how to describe it. So say for example, there's a girl that I used to be really good friends with, and then we fell out, and I've not spoken to this girl in years, but it's like kind of, there's so many things I want to say, but I'm not going to message her and say it because I don't want to, but I want to write it down to just get all those emotions out. I'd love to write a little letter to my nan, but then I think I'm putting it off because I don't want to get sad, so. But yeah, I hope that has helped, or given you a few little ideas on how to journal, what to write about, different ways of journaling, things that can help you get into journaling. Obviously, if you have any questions, as always, just drop me a comment and let me know. There's a lot more on this subject over on my TikTok. I post a lot more frequently on there, lots of little snippets of my life, self-care stuff. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!